Welcome to Deep Thought. Pay attention to factors connected to your business. And you know what? Not even just your business, to your job, however you make your money. You don't just be that person, you just do your business. Yeah, you want to do that, but you want to do what I said in the last episode. Pay attention to the national economy, because I don't care what your business is, or if you're not working a business, your job, pay attention to that. Like I said, I used to work at a major department store around here that is now closed. And it's part of a national chain. I ain't gonna call it the name, but it's now closed. But even after I stopped working there, I would go there and, holler at some friends, still buy something every now and then. And I would go in there and I was like, y'all still open? I would say that because most of the time when I was going there, it wasn't crowded. I had space. It was space. I could just take my time. I ain't had to fight over anybody. If I wanted to check out, I can go right to a checkout line. It was very rare. Listen to what I'm saying. It's very rare. I had to stand in a line. I mean, it was something. Or I could shoot the breeze with anybody without any problems. I could shoot the breeze with any of my friends because they didn't have customers up there. I was surprised it lasted this long. And I was paying attention to that. Or even when I remember me and my sons, I had mentioned before, me and my sons will get together at least one day on Saturday, at least on Saturdays, and just go get something to eat. Because, we still cool like that. I remember we went to a restaurant, and this particular, it was one of those places you can get some burgers, fries, the normal. But I remember it was probably the manager. It was probably a manager that came out and said, "Hey, y'all the only ones here." Actually walked out to our table. And I was just like, yeah, we are. And I was like, that's a concern. Like, there was a couple places, at least one restaurant. Or there was a couple we would go in there and would be the only person. And at least two of them have closed. Two of them have closed. There's been quite a few that have closed in my area. And, because I'm paying attention to the national economy. If you didn't watch my last video, definitely check it out. But what you want to focus on is your business. Like one example I used in the last episode, I talked about what if you're in that small town and the major business is a factory? But what if that factory closes? What if it moves? It affects so much. Because what if your business is a little takeout place next to the restaurant? Okay, that factory moves. All of a sudden, you don't have those people coming over to your place to eat. What if you have a little clothing store? You don't have people coming to your place to eat. In fact, I remember last year, January, we went, the family, because we still do, my sons and co-parent, we still do stuff as a family. We went to a small town, I ain't gonna say where in Maryland, but we went to a small town in Maryland. And we rode, there was like a little train service in that area. And it was really about riding the train. And we stopped off in this little small town. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, part of their business is getting people from wherever who are riding the train, who are checking out these stores. But what if you have, like I said, that factory that had people that were supporting your business, whatever it is? That could affect it. That's something you're going to pay attention to. Like you might not work, your business might not work at that factory, but you're getting people from that factory. You're getting customers from that factory. You got to pay attention to it. Like, yes, you want to still do your business well, but you also have to pay attention to how people are moving in. Shoot, even paying attention to maybe an apartment building in your area like that's serving you, or how people buying houses. That's regardless of how your business is. It's connected. Everything connected, because especially wherever your customers are coming from, wherever, you have to pay attention. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Like say you have an apartment building, apartment complex, and that's where a lot of people like will patronize your business. You have a brick and mortar business. You have to pay attention to that. Or even if you online, you have to pay attention to that. You know, how are people ordering stuff from you? How are they hitting you? Are they hitting it up? And if they're not buying stuff from you, is it because they don't want your stuff or they just don't have the money? People can't spend money like they used to. And yeah, there's still some people out there. And if you have a situation where people are still spending money with your business, or spending money with wherever you work, wherever your job is, hey, that's a cool thing. That is a very cool thing. You want that to keep going. Yeah, that's good, but you still got to pay attention. Pay attention to everything. And yeah, like I said, it's great. It's great if everything is cool. It's very good. I mean, that's what you want to deal with. That's what you want. But anything, especially if you're in a smaller town, especially if you're in a place where people can't serve it, and even if you're in a place and it's pretty good, there's no factories, it's got enough people, you still want to pay attention to how they are patronizing your business or walking into your job. I don't care what it is. And I said this before, I've said this a few times. Where I live, it's a pretty good money-making area. It's more of a bedroom community. You got people who work every place else. But there's been a lot of stores that have closed in this area. A whole lot of stores. And even some of the bigger stores, you walk in, it's very rare it's crowded. I think there's one major grocery store that's always crowded. And even that, it depends on what time that you go in. But you want to pay attention to that. Like there's some other grocery stores I might go into and might have one or two people working on the register. One or two people working on the register, and even with self-checkout, is not a lot of people. Pay attention to it. Every little thing. Like I said, my youngest son, I've said before, my youngest son, he will notice if something goes out of business. He pays attention like, oh, that store's out of business. Boom, boom, boom. Pay attention. Pay attention to the factors, the people, ultimately the national economy. Seriously. And I'm going to tell you what, it's not like the economy can't come back, but you don't want to be in a position where you're caught by surprise. Where if you have a brick and mortar business, you might have to start laying off people, or you can't do anything. And even if you have an online business, you still want to pay attention to that. You still want to say, okay, where are the people hitting me up from? Like with my stuff, I get a lot of people from all over the world. So I'm not as bad off, but I'm still paying attention. Every little thing, all right? So pay attention to every factors connecting with your business. You never know where it's at, the people in the area, how they spending money, whatever. Pay attention. If there's any changes in what they're doing, it could affect it. In their jobs or any major business around where you're at. Like I was just thought about this business. I know it's in the DC area, but they just had a government building built there. Now, hopefully, that particular government building didn't have too many layoffs because that would affect that business. So you pay attention to everything. So anyway, despite it all, y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.